Welcome to part 2 of the Doctor Who Adventure games. Click the top right corner annotation to go to part 1. I will also leave a link in the description below. The Gunpowder Plot is the last episode and came out in October 31st, 2011, but it was originally the start of Season 2 for the Adventure game series, as it had its own launcher for the game, but it was decided by the BBC in February of 2012 that they were going to move on to other games like Doctor Who, The Eternity Clock instead, and no longer actively supported the game anymore. The gameplay for this episode is a combination of everything the previous episodes in the series have done, but it plays more like a point-and-click adventure game, as now we have the ability to combine items we found. There's also a small world map, so you can go to different areas, as well as doing small tasks where we have to explore the area for the items we need. This time round, we now have Rory as a playable character, and we'll be switching between him, the Doctor, and Amy throughout the story. Now the minigame puzzles this time around are a Connect the Shapes minigame, where you have to connect the shapes in the sequence shown at the bottom, but the line you connect them by must always cross the green line, but not cross the lines you made. The only other minigame is the Return of the Symbol minigame for the episode City of the Daleks, and it comes up twice and then never again. Also to mention that stealth sections in this episode are quite short and don't take as much of the gameplay as the previous episode, especially with Rory, as he gains the mean to knock out aliens as you progress through the story. So the episode opens up with the Doctor tinkering away at the TARDIS console. We then have Amy and Rory enter the TARDIS after being chased by the Imperial Guards from the Loud Palace.
Oh, Doctor. I give up. We come to the Loud Dynasty for a nice bowl of wonton and crispy duck, and exactly how did you manage to upset the locals?
The TARDIS then has a collision with another ship and the opening starts. The collision with the other ship has caused a portal or a dimensional lesion to appear in the TARDIS.
Caused by the impact with that alien ship, I'd say. Rory, pass me the Sonic, will you? And don't throw it! Sorry.
Now as Rory, we have to retrieve the sonic screwdriver, so we drop down some small ledges as well as jump across some small gaps to get to the Sonic, which has somehow made its way over here. Now to run back to the portal and get back to the TARDIS. Now back with the Doctor and Amy, who is being tasked to go and get the parts the Doctor needs in order to fix the lesion, so off to the drawing room. In the drawing room, there are more Who facts since the last time we were here, but we're here to find what we need, so there's no time to reminisce about the past. We have to grab the first item we need from this cupboard, and then grab the second from the bookshelf and combine them together.
Okay, so thing A connects to thing B, sort of, and hey presto! Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you thing C.
Now it's time to head back to the Doctor to close the lesion, where we do the main minigame puzzle for this episode. Once completed, we start to receive a distress signal from the ship we bumped into.
What's this?
It's a subtemporal distress signal from another ship.
Oh, the one we bumped?
Honestly, it was nothing more than a ding. Well, we'd better go and take a look. Exchange insurance details.
Welcome to London in the year 1605. Watch out for the bubonic plague.
Are you worried? I'm not worried. I'm a doctor, you're a nurse. Besides, 1605 was a quiet year for the plague. Only around 400 people died from it.
Thanks, Doctor. Looks like these lesions are appearing around London too.
Point is, this probably isn't the only one, and they're being generated by the proximity of the TARDIS and whatever we bumped into, which is fine. And we can't go until we've found that ship. And meanwhile, this lesion is highly unstable, and if I'm not careful, it could swallow up the whole of London.
No pressure then, Doctor. While the Doctor is dealing with the lesion, Amy and Rory have to go and find the ship that they crashed into. Before we can even start looking for the ship, we hear two men talk about taking down the false king. So let's follow them, shall we, with a stealth section. After trailing them for a bit, they enter a room, so it's time to try and find a way to listen in.
There is something about you that those rats find irresistible.
Get lost!
These rats really like Amy for some reason. Oh look, a torch that indicates a breeze coming from a wall. Let's use our chopsticks. And we're in. As we listen to the conversation, we learn that we are currently under the Houses of Parliament, in the middle of the historical event that is the Gunpowder Plot. Those two gentlemen that we were following are Guy Fawkes and Sir Robert Catesby.
We've got to find out what's really going on here. We need that bit of paper.
You create a distraction. I'll grab the paper.
Right, Rory, so let's get that paper to find out what's really going on. As Amy, we need to find a way to create a distraction. Luckily, we have these prawn crackers with us. Just place them in front of the sleeping guard and let the rats do the rest.
Right! What in heaven's name is going on here? Guido, the rats! They're everywhere! The filthy devils!
Fool. Ignore them. We have a job to do. Come on. Milady, I know we do what we do for God and for England. But I want you to know, if I'm not destined to survive these proceedings, I shall carry the memory of your sweet face to heaven.
All I ask, Fawkes, is that you raise that place above us to ruin.
Did you see that? Her eyes glowed.
We need to tell the doctor about this.
We need to get our hands on that document. Right, take him the paper and tell him what's going on. I'm gonna keep an eye on Lady Gaga.
Okay, just be careful. Alright?
You too.
Now we just follow Lady Winters around the streets of London as she takes every single back alley until we finally catch up to her. Meanwhile, the doctor just finishes fixing the lesion, but instead of it closing, he sees Amy in danger.
Oh my god!
Amy! Amy!
Now taking cover behind some boxes, Amy screams, showing that the alien is sensitive to high-frequency noises, so we just run towards it and pull out the sonic. Now it's time to explore the streets of London to see if we can find any information. In the process, we find another lesion with a local that happens to be the town crier that looks like they're entranced by it. So we just quickly close it and we question the town crier. We find out that there are 2 more lesions that he will happily take the doctor to, and a boy named Charlie that might know more about Lady Winters. So while the doctor goes off to deal with the other lesions, Amy goes to find more information about Charlie.
I'm looking for Charlie. Have you seen him?
You stay away from me. I ain't talking to no strangers. You might give me the plague.
Well, that was random. Let's look around and see if someone else can help us. We can talk to this herbalist who will tell us about a boy called Barnaby, who can tell us where Charlie is. But he won't talk to us unless we have a remedy for the plague. Luckily, she can make us one. We just need some comfrey leaves, which is next to the store in the market, lavender, which we can find where we first started following Lady Winters, and bergamot, which is near this store with the flower vine growing on the side of the building. With all 3 flowers, we can head back to the herbalist and place them all into a bowl.
Just need to mix them all up and crush them a little to release the perfume. There we go. One sweet posy for your delicate, pretty young nose.
And with that, we have a bag of posy, and now we can give them to Barnaby. He tells us that Charlie found a way to Lady Winter's house through the tunnels near Parliament, which apparently has treasure there. Back with the doctor, where we have to climb over some boxes to get to the lesion. With that one now closed, on to the next one, that just so happens to be in someone's garden. There's some gravel nearby which we can pick up so we can throw it at a nearby window.
All right, all right. What do you want?
It's all right, Margaret. This here is a man on the king's business.
I don't care if it's the risen lord himself. Get lost.
Wow, Okay, Margaret. We can use our psychic paper for her to let us in, and that's another one closed. Amy meets back with the doctor to tell him about Charlie. The town crier kindly says that sounds like the drains, so off to the drains we go.
Sounds lovely. Who in their right mind would go down there?
Why do all these tunnels have to look the same?
Now with Rory, we encounter the Suntarans.
What the heck was all that about?
It's Brittany, bitch.
And learn that they are looking for the Rutan and learn a bit of their history with them.
Look, mate, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never even heard of a Rutan.
Do not try to be clever with me, human. It will only cause you more pain. Why else would you be down here, if you were not in the service of the Rutan host? We know their ship lies here somewhere.
Listen, maybe if you told me what was going on.
The Sontaran Empire has been at war with the Rutan host for 50,000 years. Every Sontaran is pledged to Sontar to seek out and destroy its enemies.
So what are the Sontarans doing in London?
We have detected the distress signal of a Rutan ship. A Rutan ship for which both the Empire and the host themselves have been searching for 400 years. It is somewhere near here.
400 years? What's so special about it?
It contains something of strategic value to both sides.
Now captured by the Sontarans, we need to find a way to escape. We can interact with a grate nearby, opening it, which will cause Blackrod to come in and close it. We can get behind him and yank the device from his head and free him from the Sontaran control.
Sir, I am in your debt. The enchantment put upon me by those bold devils seems lifted.
He gives us a brief rundown on who he is, and then it's time to get out of here. Now, all we have to do is follow Blackrod through the sewers as we try not to get caught by Sontarans. Rory now finds himself in front of the King's office with Blackrod. We can see a ceremonial mace, which is something that will come into play later. Now our three lovable goose reunite in time to exchange information.
Those are the Sontarans. Really? Well, thank you for pointing that out.
I was coming to tell you about them. According to Field Major Karsh, the crash ship is Rutan. They're at war against them.
Hang on, since when did you get so chatty with the Sontarans?
Yeah, well, they captured me.
Didn't get the paper, did they?
Ta-da! It's details of the plotters' meeting.
Really?
There's nothing there.
Oh, don't be so negative. Nothing there. Negative. Get it?
Now in the study, it's time to put the paper into the fire to reveal where the plotters are meeting and put a plan into action.
Bridge for 9 of the hour.
Are you really gonna go?
Yes. I feel a bout of infiltration coming on, maybe even some dressing up. You two, on the other hand, have to find that Rutan ship before the Sontarans, and we have to get that ship off Earth to get rid of those legions. Right, let's get on with it.
Now as the Doctor, we are going to have to do some small side quests in order to win the favour of some of the Gunpowder plotters. We need to get a sleeping drowse for Rabbit Catsby, a fuse wire from under the bridge for Guide Fawkes, and retrieve the Parliament seal that was stolen by Barnaby. First, let's get the fuse wire by heading down the stairs past Fawkes and go down the trapdoor to reach the lower part of the bridge. All we have to do is tie one side of this barge and loosen the other in order to make a way for the Doctor to cross over, and then we can grab the fuse wire and head back to Fawkes. Now we head back to the street where the herbalist is, and it's also where we can find Barnaby. Barnaby will stand by some boxes and will run away as soon as you get close, then go through a hole in the fence to get away. So let's ignore him for now and go to the herbalist.
I'm looking for something to help me sleep.
I can mix you such a draught, but I require the leaf of valerian. Bring some to me.
So off we go to find a leaf of valerian, which we can find next to Parliament. So in it goes. Now to get Barnaby, we can find some rope nearby to help us set up a trap. So we tie it to the fence and then we just leave the area and come back to reset Barnaby.
You ain't getting your hands on me! Let me go!
Not until you hand over something that isn't yours.
I didn't do nothing! Let me go, or I'll get the watch on you!
I think I'd be rather more interested in you. You and the parliamentary seal you stole, so give it to me, or...
Alright, alright. Here you go.
Now to head back to the plotters to complete our task. Back to Amy and Rory, where they're following a trail that will hopefully lead them to the Rutan ship. There are still many Sontarans down here, so it's time for our classic stealth section. As we progress further, there is a Sontaran that will require us to move a box in order to get past him.
Well, that was easy. You went down like a sack of spots. I thought Sontarans were tough.
We find the entrance to the ship and we see we are not the only ones that know how to deal with Sontarans. Now on the ship, it's time to do some environmental puzzles and deadly electricity. All we have to do is run around these corridors and push these pod things up in order to open the path we need to go, all while dodging these electrical currents.
This looks important. All the pipes and tubes seem to join up here, into that thing in the middle.
And it looks like it's still busy repairing itself from the crash. It moves for here. Wait, I recognise that noise. Get down! My stupid face! Get behind some cover!
It doesn't actually seem interested in me. Perhaps it took issue with your dress sense.
I could have been killed there. It's not funny.
All we have to do is talk to Amy in this part to give her the goop we have in our pocket.
Yes, but like you said, it's the stuff the Rutans are made from. Well, there's your answer.
Now we can continue ahead to the next room. We can open the right side door to find Charlie tied up. We can use the rusted bolt to cut him free.
You be careful with that.
Keep still.
How can I keep still when you're about to cut me open?
Shh. So, you're Charlie.
What if I am? You're two of them, aren't you? Green monsters.
No, you're safe.
Yeah, of course I am.
Hey!
While Charlie pushes us out the way, he drops his slingshot. Now as Rory, we can take out Sontarans and no need to wait for them to move out the way. Now we need to backtrack through the sewers to get back to the TARDIS, but this time, we have the slingshot. Back with the Doctor, he starts to get all the tea before heading in.
No, I'm the Doctor.
Allow me to introduce Lady Elizabeth Waters.
Delighted to make your acquaintance, my lady. I hope we can be friends.
It seems we are all conspirators here, Doctor.
So, to business.
Everything is prepared for tomorrow's opening of Parliament?
There are 41 kegs of powder installed in the undercroft.
Wouldn't 36 be enough?
Fawkes sport for the Spanish. He has adequate experience in the arts of gunpowder, Doctor.
We learn that they've added extra gunpowder barrels. How interesting. Once the meeting ends, the Doctor chases after Lady Winters.
Killing you would be so easy, Doctor.
Hardly worth bothering then, as I only want to help you.
Your name echoes across the universe, Time Lord. Why would you help the Rutans?
Well, because I'm partly responsible for your ship being buried under Parliament, it was my TARDIS you ran into 400 years ago. Also, because your ship being there is causing a dimensional disturbance across London, and because the Sontarans know you're here, and I don't want anyone getting caught in the crossfire.
And what of the English king and his Parliament?
The king won't die, Parliament won't be destroyed. I won't have you hijacking the Gunpowder Plot, messing up the timeline, and robbing kids of 400 years of bonfire nights.
After so long in suspension, our engines require the kinetic momentum of the explosion to engage. So how can we launch with that building above us?
I can help you. Because believe me, I want you gone.
Doctor, are you alright?
Ah, Pons, allow me to introduce Lady Elizabeth Winters, Rutan of this parish. Did you find her ship? Yes, and so can the Sontarans. You don't have much time.
When the ship crashed, we lost 2 energy conversion rods. Without them, the ship can't launch. But the rods are indestructible. They must be close by.
Now it's time to find the other rods needed for the Rutan ship. The first rod is being used in a clock face above the bridge, and the second we can see through a grate on the bridge. As Amy, we need to find a way to get to the room under the bridge, so we head to the trapdoor the Doctor used to get under the bridge the first time. Now we just need to walk across some planks, and I think we can fall here, but I didn't really want to find out. Once across, we can pick up a fish hook on the right that we'll need later, then head left. We enter what seems to be part of the sewage system. Oh look, a crank. Is this Resident Evil now? If we head further down, we can find some fishing wire, which we can then combine with the fishing hook. Now we can use it to get the crank. Now we can head across to get to the room where the rod is. Now let's catch up with Rory and see what he's doing. Rory appears to be in the tower part of the bridge, so we just head up these stairs, grab some gunpowder along the way, and then eventually we come across a locked door. We can use the gunpowder and then hit it with our rusty bolt. And that's the second rod down. Back with the Doctor, who was getting a bit of an earful from Lady Winters for the TARDIS crashing into their ship.
So none of this would have happened but for your infernal TARDIS. 400 years my crew has been in suspended animation, Doctor.
Well, we can all do with a good lie-in once in a while.
But it doesn't last long. Oh, Amy and Rory went to put the rods onto the ship. Turns out the Rutans have a genetic modified bomb to wipe out the Sontarans, but just before the Doctor can stop Lady Winters,
Need to use it. Thank you, Doctor.
Stop!
Thought showed up, so I guess it's time to correct history. We follow Thoughts as the ground continues to shake from the Rutan ship powering up, till we are blocked off. Luckily, there's a convenient placed cannon nearby, so turn it, grab a cannonball, and some gunpowder, and...
Did somebody say move?
Back to Amy and Rory as we do some running sequence as the tunnels are collapsing. Now back to correcting history.
Next door into that room, and that's where you should light the fuse.
What is this? You seek to tell me my own business?
No, just make sure things are done properly. Look, trust me. We'll need 36 barrels of gunpowder in here. Oh, and you need to set the fuse now.
Now with Parliament floating in space, it's time to deal with both the Rutans and the Sontarans.
Get off me!
Well, what do we have here?
I'm a boy. Question is, what the hell are you, a flaming goblin?
Back on the TARDIS, where Amy and Rory are figuring out that Charlie ran off with one of the Doomsday device, and the other is in the scepter.
There's an orb just like it set in the ceremonial mace.
Of course you did. The Rutans lost a second Doomsday weapon when they crashed here. It's quite pretty for a weapon. Someone decided to incorporate it in the mace.
And we think we know who has the other one.
Charlie, yes, I heard.
You heard? You weren't even in the room.
Sound carries in the TARDIS. Have you never noticed that? I hear everything.
You hear everything.
I sometimes wear earplugs. Now, catch.
Now Rory has the means to stun Rutans once it's fixed up. Time to split up again. First, as the Doctor, we need to sneak past some Rutans. Unfortunately, we can't use our sonic screwdriver, but that's fine as it's a very simple stealth section. Once across the room, the Soltarans arrive, which gives us the opportunity to find the room with the scepter in it. Now as Amy, we need to find Charlie, and all we have to do is sneak past some Soltarans and Routons to get close to the room where Charlie is. We then switch back to the Doctor, who is with Blackrod.
My very, very good plan if you just put the sword down so the plan doesn't come to an abrupt and frankly messy end, and I'll explain everything.
Sir, I've had my mind lost to hairless devils, been attacked by giant orbs of flying light, and been blasted into the ether by plotters determined to kill my sovereign. The only thing of which I am sure is the yard of cold steel in my hand, and my determination to run it through your gizzard.
Now we need to convince Blackrod not to kill us.
If you kill me, the king won't stand a chance.
The king? What do you know of the king?
He is in grave danger.
Then all we have to do is show our psychic paper.
I apologize. I truly do, sir. But I hope you understand my predicament.
Ah, come on. And you've brought a gun. You really shouldn't have.
Now on to Rory. We first need to look around the room to see if there's something we can use to fix up this EMP. First we pick up this grease part and use the gun on the table to loosen its parts up, then we can take the trigger from it and combine it with the EMP. Now we just go down these hallways as we use the EMP as Rory starts quoting action movie lines.
Say hello to my little friend. Hasta la vista, baby.
We then find the Doomsday device Charlie dropped earlier. Back to the Doctor and Blackrod, who are being held up by a Soltaran. All we have to do is give Blackrod a little nudge to cause a bit of a distraction.
Doctor?
You will be silent, or you will be eliminated.
Ah! How dare you come in here? The king will hear of this, I assure you!
So we can then grab the scepter off the wall and then smack the Soltaran from behind. It has been a while since we had a little minigame here, and here's the final one for the road. With the device reconfigured, we now go to Amy trying to save Charlie.
Off me!
You will be silent, or you will be eliminated.
There's no way I can take on both of these Soltarans. Okay, I need to distract them.
As Amy, we need to find a way to get the Soltarans to move. Luckily, there's a Routon on the balcony, so all we have to do is lure them to each other.
Hey, you big jelly thing, over here!
While they're busy fighting each other, it's time to untie Charlie.
Thanks, miss. And to think I thought you were one of them.
Where is the Routan weapon?
I don't know, I swear.
Then you have no strategic value.
Amy! Amy!
Right, time to get to Amy. Just like before, we can use the slingshot and EMP to get around the Soltarans and the Routons. Rory takes out the Soltaran holding up Amy and Charlie, and everyone conveniently comes together on the balcony. With the Routons and Soltarans behaving like children, it's time for the Doctor to put his plan into action.
2 doomsday weapons, the dictionary definition of overkill, if you ask me. Or look at it another way, plenty to go round. Why not have one each? One to wipe out the Soltarans, the other reset to destroy the entire Routon host.
What treachery is this?
I prefer to call it stalemate. Go ahead, activate your weapon. But you'll never know. You might be killing your own species.
And with that, the day is saved yet again. But first we need to put Parliament back.
Remember the 5th of November. Gunpowder, treason, and plot. I see no reason why gunpowder treason should ever be forgotten.
This is by far the best episode in my opinion of the adventure games. It's a lot longer than the others, but it's the one that felt the most like adventure games and really shows how well Doctor Who can work as an adventure game. I know at the current time of this video, Doctor Who is sort of in limbo in terms of what's next for the show, but that doesn't mean it's over, as we're still getting stories from Big Finish, and we have the war between the land and sea coming out, and an animated children's show as well. But when it comes to video games, the last big console and PC release was Doctor Who: The Edge of Reality, released back in 2021. In this new era of Who, I would love us to try and make Doctor Who adventure games again, as a way to give more adventures with Ruby and Belinda with Ncuti's Doctor, or even going to past Doctors like Sylvester McCoy. The possibilities are endless. Thank you for watching the second part of the Doctor Who adventure games. If you would like to see more content from my channel, don't forget to subscribe and maybe give the video a like as well. Until next time,